High Commissioner of India, His Excellency Mr. Gupta, did I say that correct? Political leader of the ILP, Mrs. Vika Ramjit and Mr. Ramjit. Honorary member and former political leader, Mr. Jack Warner and Mrs. Warner. Chairman, members of the executive of the ILP. Political leader of the AOI, Mrs. Nicola Griffith. Former Minister, Mr. Griffith. Specially invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste and Sitaram. Even though my family's name is Mahabir, it is a Hindi word for illustrious hero, as I have recently become aware. I am not a Hindu, and neither are most of my closest relatives. But that is one of the wonderful things about living in a melting pot society. There are so many influences, and we are fortunate to be able to draw from these traditions, wisdom and philosophies of various religions and creeds as we seek to build a successful nation. And as the various seasons associated with each religion's festivals come around, we are fortunate to be able to reflect on our society against the backdrop of the teachings of those seasons. So for Diwali, for example, all of us is reminded of the triumph of light over darkness, and that if we illuminate the light within us, no matter how small we are, we can shine a path through the darkness that pervades our land. At Diwali time, we hear the discourses of the Ramayana, which detail the great battle between Lord Ram and demon King Ravan, which remind us of the goodness conquering evil. We learn also that Ravan was a king, the leader of subjects who depended on him to rule with their welfare in mind. He was also a devotee of Brahma, and because of his devotion, he was blessed with a boon of immortality, which he bore around his navel. But what did Ravan use his great powers for? He used it for deception. He used it to exploit the weak and to glorify himself. He allowed his pride and ego to overcome him. He kidnapped an innocent woman and then engaged in an unrighteous battle with her husband. Blessed with the power, did Ravan use it to benefit his subjects and furtherance of his duty towards his kingdom? Once Ravan had power, he forgot all about the good things he could have used his power for. And of course, having gone down the wrong path, he paid the price. Righteousness caught up with him, and everything that he was blessed with, he lost, including his life. Ravan became a failed leader because, corrupt by power, he lost focus of what was right. My friends, all our citizens, especially the young ones, are looking for good leaders, leaders who can handle power. We have had so many who have failed to properly handle power. Recognizing the challenges that face our country and our people, we are looking for leaders who, when they are granted power, will not lose sight of their responsibilities. It is a matter that is causing great frustration to our people. Too many persons, especially politicians, who are persons offering themselves as leaders, try to gain office, and when they do, they have no clue what to do next. They come unprepared for what lies after the campaign victory. They walk into the ministry with not a clue in their minds. Or they become distracted by and caught up with the trappings of office. They forget who put them there and for what purpose. They begin to abuse the gifts that was bestowed upon them, the gifts of authority and the love of the people who put them there. They pay no attention to the adage that with great power comes great responsibility. Let me say about that. They pay no attention to the adage that with great power comes great responsibility. Of course, such persons who either lack perspective, vision or purpose are doomed to fail and to fall. And sadly, at the end of it all, it is the humble subject who is left with nothing. only disappointment and a broken will. How different could a Ramayana story and the legacy of Ravan been if he had used his powers for a more constructive and righteous purpose? I say this because the young people of this country want good, strong leaders, people who are honest and genuine, people who focus on making this space a better one. We are tired of persons who cannot handle power and office, who when they get power either do not know what to do with it or abuse it, or forget the responsibility to the people who entrusted them with that power. We are tired of persons who only see positions of power as something to have the luxurious facilities to enjoy, and not as a tool and a vehicle with a greater purpose. And like the once blessed Ravan, they squander the opportunity at the peril of their weak and their vulnerable dependents. That is why all of us need our own positions of power, who aspire to positions of power must reflect on the mistakes of Ravan, as we are reminded at this Diwali time. We must reflect on the circumstances of Ram, who was kind, respectful, honest, thoughtful, considerate, and for all of that and more, he was cherished by everyone around him. So much so that they were willing to stand with him, and for his righteousness, he prevailed over the dark forces. It is something to simply think about this Diwali. Why are we here? What are we going to do with the opportunities we have? How are we going to use the tools, the resources, and power that we have? And finally, are we going to do the things that will make people we serve happy? Or do we do the things that cause them to pray to be rid of us? Is our intention to serve people or to suffer them? We know what the expectations of the population are. We know how the young people are thinking. Now they are exposed to education and not sheltered from the realities of society. Thanks to Jack Warner, we know what it is, how it is possible for leaders to serve. My Diwali lesson, which I wish to share with you as a perspective of the youth, is that we must illuminate the inner light and we must use it for good always. I thank you and I wish you Shukh Diwali on behalf of my family and the ILP family.